good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Hope that you're having the most lovely day that you can have out there on your beautiful corner of the world. Listen, today we're going to jam out, we're going to rock out, we're just going to calmly, dance about. I really don't know. Listen, we're going to go and explore a little bit of reggae here. We're going to listen to this album, Toots and the Maytals, with their album Funky Kingston, released 1973. As far as I know, I didn't look it up, but I highly doubt it. I don't think anyone's recommended this or anything like that. I really was just looking for something to get into, and I probably will explore Bob Marley in a little bit. But I just wanted to listen to something that I haven't listened to. For those of you that don't know, my roots are in Jamaica. Most of my family, upbringing, parents, etc., are Jamaican. So reggae is a genre that's typically close to me and that I've heard it a lot, I've listened to it a lot, but I've never dived into it. You know, it's one of those sounds and that's always been around me, but I've never really looked into it, looked into it. So I just wanted to listen to this, and I hope that you guys are here with me along for the journey. Hopefully you're along with me for the ride. Try maybe something a little bit different, a little bit new, exploring outside of our box, right? So let us get outside of our box. There are, I believe 10 tracks on the album? 8 tracks on the album. So we're going to go ahead and start with the first one right here off of Funky Kingston, which is a great name, by the way. With the first track, Sit Right Down. Oh no, this is going to be one of those times. The track list I have here is not the track list that's presented here on Spotify. Hold on. So I think what I have is the 1975 track listing, which is slightly different. So I think looking at it, it's a few extra songs on here. It looks like everything is still intact. It's just a few extra songs. Man, I really want to hear the original though. That's I want to hear originally how it was, how it was released, how the artist intended it to be released and everything. So let me see if I can find that really quick. Let me see if I can. You know what? I guess because it does have all the songs, I guess it'd still be okay. I think it'd still be okay. I think we'll be all right, guys. Let's go. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go ahead and listen to it because it's going to have all the tracks anyway. It just has 2 extra tracks involved in there. That's fine. So we're going to listen to the first track, which is Time Tough. Let's go. I like how this is like a version of blues with how he's singing and what he's speaking about. The rent does keep on getting higher, that's for sure. I don't know. To me, this is just a different kind of sound. This is something that goes beyond me doing a YouTube reaction video. This is kind of just the sound of home to me and my parents' house and my grandma and all this kind of stuff. The song Time's Tough. Rent keeps going up. Need $400 for rent. I can't even find $1. It's like a different style of blues. This kind of singing and passionately speaking about the problems that you're facing, whether it's something as personal as paying rent or some big political and activist movement. It could be so many different things, but just the way of acknowledging that times aren't always easy, life isn't always easy, and yet creating music that is a vehicle to get us through those moments and through those times, those moments in shadow. I think that's great. Of course, I really enjoy the singing here. I really enjoy just that, there's just that root that I'm obviously very partial to. And one thing I noticed that I really liked was that at one point when the female vocals came up on the left, I like how that was immediately balanced with the organ, like that little jab, that little reggae jab on the right, and they would rock back and forth just gently before they would slowly kind of wash around each other as well. I just thought that was very nice. Lyrics: I go to bed but sleep won't come. Get up in the night, I couldn't fight my feeling. No, early in the morning, oh mercy, it's just the same situation. Here came the landlord knocking upon my door. I got 400 month rent to pay, and I can't find the job. Let me tell you, time is tough. Everything is out of sight. It's so hard. Time is tough. Everything is going higher and higher. And that's where this all leads to, is just struggling but working towards that goal, working towards that end. Listen, I'm not planning to like dive research and everything in this. I just want to listen to this. This is just a relaxing listen. So let's move on into the next track here, which is going to be In the Dark. Let's go. I love the little like little chops in there. He's going off there at the end. This one begins a little bit more playful, and what I really enjoy is how singable that is. You are singing along with that. Riddle me this, riddle me that. Like the way that he bounces around. I love the female vocals and the harmonies in the back. It just feels so lively. It feels so good. This isn't music that necessarily is made like on stage, or I mean obviously it was recorded and everything, but like this just sounds like, and maybe I have memories associated with this, perhaps, but this just sounds like music that your mom or your dad would be singing while they're washing dishes, working outside. I don't know. This has that sound to me because that's what I've heard growing up, and I love that. That is just something that hits a little bit differently. I like the little guitar swing in there, the bass, those little hits that, of course, are common to reggae music. The like the quick stabs with organ, guitar, bass, but then slowly those little moments fill in just a little bit, like you heard the bass kind of ride in a little bit more a little bit later on. Just those little things, the extra percussion, like the all that kind of stuff. It all feels good. Riddle me this, riddle me that, riddle me this, riddle me that. I bet you don't know just where I'm at. In the dark there ain't no light. In the dark you will cheat and lie. In the dark you will fuss and fight. In the dark you will get no light. People tell me love is true, then tell me love, what can it do? You keep on telling me love endlessly, that's when you're going to turn your back on me. Said you tell me to love and do this and do that, but as soon as I do it, that's when you turn around. I'm so lonely, I'm so blue, good God, I keep on loving no one but you. No matter where you go, no matter where you are, I know one day soon you'll break my heart. Come on, baby, come on. And you're left in the dark. No matter what you try to do, you are left in the dark. Let's move on into the next track, which is actually the title track, Funky Kingston. Let's go. I like that, raw with it. This is a great track. This is really good. Okay, I mean, you gotta admit that Funky Kingston, the title track of the album, is kind of like a little bit of an upper echelon than the previous tracks, where obviously those were good, but this one, ooh, the hard drum breaks, absolutely. Very rough vocals. I haven't used any names, by the way, but Frederick Toots Hibbert is the lead vocalist, and you have many other vocalists labeled in here and listed in here. And then drums, you're either going to have Paul Douglas, who's playing mostly on the album, but then you have an additional musician of Winston Grennan on the drums, and then Sons of the Jungle on the horns, which we heard here. Which, what a great moment when Frederick and the horn section, when they both like harmonize, the horns with this rusty cadence and him with a little bit of dirt in his throat, and it's just like he's singing and he's yelling out very raw, and it perfectly matches with the brass in these particular sections. And then Jackie Jackson on the bass here, but I mean, you guys heard the drums. Like, you get that relatively straightforward and simple reggae beat, but then the ways that it comes up. Did you hear that machine gun snare? And then smooth it right back down. The whole thing had a very funky strut to it as well. I think that you guys are having a good time. At least I hope you are, because I'm having a good time. I want you to believe every word I say. Want you to believe everything I do. I said music is what I've got to give, and I've got to find some way to make it. Music is what I've got, baby. I want you to come and shake it, shake it, shake it, baby. A funky Kingston is what I've got for you. The music is inside him, and he needs to make it. He needs to get it out. Something just crawled on my leg. Nothing is there. Okay, it was a ghost. But the music is inside him, and he needs to get it out. And he hopes that perhaps she will shake it for him. While he's making east to west, north to north, from north to south now over America, people keep on asking me for funky Kingston, but I ain't got none. Somebody take it away from me. You got to go on and fetch your funk. I ain't got none. Funky Kingston now. Somebody take it away from me. You got to go on and buy the same one, Funky Kingston. So maybe he's had so much music to give and to produce, but people keep on asking for more and taking more and asking for more. And at a certain point, he's just drained. He's like, I ain't got no more to give you. There's no more funk left in me. But what is left are some more tracks. So let's move on to the next one, which is Love Is Gonna Get Me Down. Let's go. How great do they balance that? That slow dance movement with the strings. I'm just saying that sounds like Mellotron to me, but that's because the strings are sampled. It sounds like it's I don't know. Okay. After the funky last track, this one kind of gave us a swerve. It slows things down. Sounds like it's going to be this like very romantic slow dance, which I guess in some ways it is. And then the way that they pause for a moment, give your breath, and then they pop in with the drums. And it doesn't change the whole mood of it, but it does add a certain swing. It does add a certain beat to it. I just thought that was very impressive because I was definitely not expecting that from the beginning of the track. You know? Like this is slow and taken back, rocking with your soulmate, just rocking back and forth side to side, right? Those quick little organ quips. But then they bring it in. And it could be me, but those strings sound a little Mellotron-ish. That's just, I'm not saying it is or not, I'm just saying what they sound like. But I just thought that was such a cool and neat little switch that I wasn't expecting. And that makes the music that more impacting because you do get that slow romantic feel. And at the same time, you also get to rock with it just a little bit at the same time. That was absolutely wonderful. Then you got a little guitar solo in there. Guitar, once again, is going to be Radcliffe, Dougie, Brian on the guitar here on this album. That's a good... This is such a wonderful come-down track from the funky previous one. Lyrics on here. Every time that I see your face, something moves within my heart, and it thrills me to my soul and tell me that love is going to let me down. Love is going to let me down. As I see the morning sun, I know everything is all right. I could see you rushing to my door and tell me that love is going to let me down. And he does say love is going to let me down. Love is going to walk out on me. So it seems like a happy romantic song because he's saying, I can see you rushing through the door, and you would think it'd be for something happy, but no, he's waiting for that day, that moment that she says, we're done. Basically, that's what it sounds like. He's worried and waiting for that day, which is not that's not good. That's not good at all. Let's move on into the next track here, which is going to be Louie Louie. It's just Louie Louie, it's just twice. Here we go. Is there anyone that can tell me what that sound at the end of this track was? Because I have no idea what that was. I'm looking at like the instrument list and I couldn't even begin to tell you what I think it is. Because it sounds like something that is being played with your mouth. But on the other hand, I've never heard that sound, I don't think, in my life. So I'm actually not sure what that was. This song, I really like those breaks. Those have you noticed that every drummer like vocalizes drums a very completely different way? Anyways, I just love that part, and I'm listening to the groove of the drums, I'm listening to the flow and how they're playing, because it's such a straightforward groove, but at the same time, it's those little things they add in, an extra snare here, an extra kick here, something to drive the rhythm to to push, rather, the force of the music just a little bit more over and over and over again. That's what I found most interesting listening to this specific track. Lyrics, Louie Louie, oh baby, I gotta go. A fine girl who waited for me. I catch a ship across the sea. I sailed the ship all alone. I wondered when I'm gonna make it home. 3 nights and days I sailed the sea. I think of the girl constantly. On the ship I smell, or I dream, she there. I smell the rose that's in her hair. And then eventually he does make it back to his proverbial Ithaca. I see Jamaican moon above, see the girl I'm thinking of. I take her in my arms and then say I'll never leave again. And then at the end of the track, he says, oh, I gotta go now. Uh-oh, I gotta go. Well, that didn't last long. Also, if you notice during the track, you may have noticed that I completely cut off my microphone for one moment. I had to slam my desk because I finally caught that fly. I gave him one of these. Gave him one of those. Got him. Anyways, the next track, also opening side 2 of the album, that's going to be Pomp and Pride. Let's go. Big charge in the front, huh? This music just makes me feel so good. I like how he's basically saying, everybody just calm down, just relax. You know, I like how this track began with a lot of pomp and pride, with the horns just charging right out the gate, and then it got into its groove. It settled into its rhythm. And this track is really repetitive. Lyrics are just repeated pretty much the whole way through. And yet at the same time, there's a lot being said. You know, you don't need a lot of words to say a lot necessarily. You know, sometimes I catch myself. Sometimes I don't feel like I say enough, but then I realize, no, I said exactly what I wanted to say. I don't need to fluff it up anymore. No, it gets right to the point. I love when he gets into, like what I said, of those soulful moments of the music, when he kind of hits those higher notes. He goes off a little bit, and then he brings it right back down into that, what is it? One of the lines I was trying to find it. Calm down, calm down, calm. Like that kind of like, he calms it down. He raises the music, and then he actually calms it down just as he says he does. And when it settles into that nice, relaxing pace, for me, I can only speak for myself, but it actually feels relaxing. It's like he's calming me down. And maybe, once again, that is just because of, you know, my relation to the music and such, but I connect with it, you know? Everybody just crying out, cry out. Calm down, calm down. Have your pomps and pride. Calm down, everybody out. Have your pomps and pride. For today is a happy day. For tonight can be another night. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. He sings up higher. Everybody's just crying, crying, sighing, sighing, dying to see the light. And when they see it, they see it's not bright. Can this be right? And once again repeats, everybody just calm down. So I think what he's kind of hinting to is everybody wants something, everybody's searching for something, and perhaps when they find it, it's not what they expected it to be. Instead of panicking, falling apart, losing purpose, losing sense, he basically says, calm down, it's going to be all right. You know, it may not be exactly what you expected, but maybe it's what you needed. I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is the next track is going to be Got to Be There. And hopefully this is a place that you got to be there. Hopefully you're at this point in the video and you're enjoying the music alongside with me. Let's move on to the next track. Let's go. You gotta love the drum openings though. Some quick picking. I like that very folky guitar rhythm that's being played too. Besides this. Where do you have to be? You gotta be there, wherever there may be. This one, I really like the guitar in here because you hear the obvious one, the diddle-diddling. Can't do it, and the wow. But if you listen behind that, it sounds like there's another guitar just kind of gently being played in the back alongside the other instruments and everything, and the bass line and everything. There's just another guitar faintly in the back there, just gently rocking everything along. And I just like the sound of that. It makes this sound like a little bit of a folky kind of sound, especially in the way that he's singing. And what is he singing about? Where do you have to be? It's not about where you're from. It's where you have to be at some particular point in time. As he says, near the end, he says, if you are from Canada, if you're from America, if you're from Africa, if you're from Jamaica, you got to be there. You got to be there just to answer to your name when the roll is called for your fate. So whatever that fate may represent, whenever your name comes up in the Rolodex, you're gonna have to answer. Could that be death? Could be. But whatever it is, you're gonna be answering for it. Lord, I must know if you've been weeping and wailing, naughty, naughty. Who knows how that love had to linger on? Someone help. Gotta be there, gotta be there. If you go the bad way, you must prepare to get bad pay. The seed you sow, girl, this you shall surely reap, my brother and sister. Whatever you do, you're gonna have to answer about it at the end. Basically, whatever happens, whatever you get involved in. This is such a good album. I may not be talking a ton about the music because there's nothing I really have like to go in depth about it. Just that it's hitting me in that right way, that I'm enjoying it. Hopefully, like I said, you're enjoying it. And that's really all there is to it. Sometimes I don't do great reactions. Sometimes I'm just like, I just want to listen to music and kind of chat about it, but I just want to kind of listen to it. So let's move on into the next track here, which is going to be Country Road. Let's go. Oh, my battery's about to die. This is a cover. I like how he doesn't fully vocalize the note. He doesn't need to. That's universal. I did not know that was going to be a cover of Take Me Home Country Roads. How well, first of all, did they pull that off? It sounded absolutely beautiful, authentic. I guess that's a track that really can be covered in just about any genre, any part of the world, because the message is very universal. The music is obviously very universal. The way that Toots and the Maytals covered that was just just wonderful. And honestly, like, I don't want to say I felt homesick because, I mean, my parents and family don't live far away, but like it makes me have that homesick, oh, I'm kind of missing something kind of feeling. It makes you kind of think back, like, remember your mom was cooking? Like, it just makes you think back a little bit. They did this track so much justice. And what I really like is how in the chorus, he doesn't even fully vocalize or go for like the really high note. Like on the second one, in the second chorus, he kind of like raspily kind of loses it. It sounds like even, and allows the harmonies behind him to really fill in the gap. But doesn't that even make this performance like stand out even more, make it more authentic, and add a lot more emotion and feeling towards it than if, I don't know, you'd have the notes all polished and pretty and diva-ish and blah blah blah. Like, this sounds more real. This sounds like someone who's homesick and perhaps is getting choked up, and maybe that's why I missed the note. I just really, really enjoy that. Then you had a little organ solo with some pitch bending or warbling or something going on in there. This is a really, really good cover. Very unexpected surprise in here. Sometimes you open a box of chocolates and you get something you didn't expect. Almost Heaven, West Jamaica. Oh, and I like how, of course, the locations and the words are changed. True Ridge Mountains, shining Minko River. All my friends there, older than those ridge, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Jamaica, my old mama, take me home, country roads. I heard her voice in the morning hour. She calls me, said, son, you remind me of my home far away. And driving down the road, I feel a sickness. I sure did. Oh, yesterday. Oh, yesterday. All my memories gathered around her. My old lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, tears gone from my eyes. And there's this sculpture. I don't remember where it is, but it's basically a person holding a briefcase, and there's a large piece of them that's missing in the sculpture. And the point was, there's a void that's left in you when you leave your home. And that is exactly the kind of imagery I get from this track, and the words that he's using to describe how his mom says, son, you remind me of my home far away. And I just think that's absolutely beautiful, though, the way that's written, and what a great way of covering this particular track. Let's move into the next track, which is going to be Pressure Drop. Well, that's when your airplane hits turbulence. And all right, let's go. Oh, hold on, wrong song. There we go. I like that chunky bass and guitar coming intonation here. Like, it sounds a little darker and deeper. And the way that he's delivering the music and the lyrics is a little bit like, not exhausting in a bad way, but like hurry. Like he's trying to get the message out as quick as possible. Kind of like what I was saying on this one. This one sounds like a kind of hurried plea for something. The lyrics are literally repeated the whole time. Pressure drop, pressure gonna drop on you. But I also see that there's a Wikipedia article for this particular track, so we'll look at that in a little bit. But like the music here sounded kind of a little bit darker, not in like a dark way, but just lower, just deeper, a little bit more depth to it. The drums, while playing quietly, were playing kind of quickly. Like the music was kind of rushing. And it kind of made me think of like, this is like an anxious kind of, not frenzied, not chaotic, but there's something important that he's trying to say. And even though the lyrics are repeating, I'm sure that there's an actual meaning behind it, since there's an article actually written down for this particular track. So there's something there, but I just thought the delivery was a little bit different on this track. It just felt like something's happening. Something's simmering beneath the surface. Looks here that this particular track, it helped launch the band's career outside Jamaica when this song was featured on the film The Harder They Come, never heard of it, which introduced reggae to much of the world, apparently. Rolling Stone rated this song number 453 in the 500 greatest songs of all time. It has been covered most notably by Robert Palmer, The Specials, Keith Richards, Izzy Stradlin, and the Juju Hounds, and The Oppressed, and The Clash. It says that Frederick Hibbert said about this song, it's a song about revenge, but in the form of karma. If you do bad things to innocent people, then bad things will happen to you. The title was a phrase I used to say. If someone did me wrong, rather than fight them like a warrior, I'd say the pressure's going to drop on you. So that's the message. It's not a warning or a threat. I'm just trying to tell you something. Let me tell you something. So that's the meaning of the pressure drop. I like that. It's like, oh, I like that. You know, it's not, we're not going to fight it out. I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to say words. Pressure's going to come. Pressure's going to drop on you. I like that. Oh, slided it in. Anyways, my friends, it is time to move on into the last track here on the album, which is going to be Sailing On. Hope that you guys have enjoyed listening to this with me. I know, well, I don't know, because obviously the video hasn't come out as I'm recording it right now. But like, I didn't choose this for like a popular pick or anything. This would probably get like 200 views or something like that. I don't know. Out of those 200 views, I feel like 10 of you are going to be at this point in the video. If you're at this point in the video, just put 10 in your comment. You can type your comment as normal, put 10, because I feel like there's 10 of you that I've gotten to this point. But I appreciate it. Like I said, I just wanted to listen to this, and I hope that you guys enjoyed listening to it alongside with me. So let's go ahead and finish out the album with the last track, which is Sailing On. Boom.
Hey, hey.
When he gets into this, his voice is so calming, just like soothing, softening everything. Okay, they got into the last chorus. They did a great entrance into the last chorus, and then it was a 6-second fade out. Did we run out of room on the record? That deserved at least one more go around with the chorus. Okay, we'll accept it. That's how it was. We'll accept it. This was a perfect track to end the album on. Sailing On, the music sails on, the way the chorus, sailing on, just kind of pushing us gently out to the stream, out to the river, to cast us off one last time in one direction, downstream, away from the source, away from the music. And we just hear it echo in the back. I really love the cadence and the smoothness of his voice in the chorus here. Once again, that nice guitar out front with the slim pickings. just great guitar picking in there. And the chords of the guitar, I thought were kind of I thought were kind of noticeable because on one hand, it sounds like blues, right? Like this is kind of a blues reggae track. And then on the other hand, it kind of hinted towards like later music. Like, I don't know, it sounded a little grungy to me. I don't know. There was something about it. But regardless, this was a really great track to go ahead and end this album on. I think that this is a really fun album to listen to. I hope that the 10 of you that watched enjoyed listening to this alongside me. Like I said, I was in the mood to just listen to something, and I didn't really want to listen to like the stuff I usually kind of listen to here. I was like, let me listen to something different. And so I feel rewarded. I hope that you guys feel rewarded, and I hope that you guys were interested somewhat in listening to this alongside me, as I'd like to explore a little bit more other stuff, you know, get outside a little bit, basically, as that's kind of the point of this channel, which is my journey to explore other stuff. Sometimes it's things you recommend me. Actually, most of the time it's things you recommend me, and sometimes it's things I just say, hey, I'm gonna go take a left on this path real quick. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it, listening to this alongside with me. Of course, please let me know your thoughts down below. My favorite track was the title track of the album, Funky Kingston. I mean, that thing was just a banger. But the rest of the tracks were really, really good as well, obviously. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you want, you can follow me over on Twitter. If you want, it helps a lot. You can support me on Patreon for as little as $2 a month, because on this channel, I don't really rely on views that much. Like, yeah, they help, and of course they're nice, obviously. I need views. But, you know, that doesn't determine what I do necessarily. So, yeah, you can do that over on Patreon. And otherwise, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Rest in peace to that fly that I killed. And I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, guys.